Hi, I'm Claude Gagnon, and I'm here with another video for the Strings by Mail Unexplored Repertoire series. In this video, I'll be reading through Les Doux Instants, which means Sweet Moments, by Claude Gagnon. This is a beautiful piece to learn for someone with early intermediate playing abilities. Now, because the piece isn't very fast and it is fairly simple, it can be managed by a variety of players. The composer doesn't give us exactly what the tempo marking is for the piece, but he does give us a clue as to how slow the piece is by giving us an approximate timing at the end, which is at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you do your tests and your calculations, you will figure out that if you play it at quarter note equals 80 or 84, you will hit the approximate timing for the overall piece. Now, that's great to know for reference, just to know how slow you're supposed to play the piece, but I wouldn't recommend playing this piece strictly with the metronome, because you will find that since there isn't enough rhythmic variety in the piece, it'll sound very static if you keep playing it strictly with the metronome. And to give you an example, I will demonstrate measures 5 onwards with the metronome and then playing the same measures with some more freedom and liberties by using rubato. So I'm just going to use the light on the metronome, so you can't hear it, but I can see the light just to keep it strict in time. And then I'll play it with liberties. So here it is with the metronome. It still sounds pretty because it is a beautiful piece of music, but if I give myself some liberty to use more rubato, it'll sound more alive and actually sound more tender. So I'm going to try the same thing from measure 5 onwards with some more liberties. Now, you don't have to do exactly what I did, and chances are if I play it another time it might sound a little different. But you have to learn to use rubato in a natural manner. So, for example, if I'm going to stretch out the beginning of the measure, then tendency is that I'm going to make up for it later on in that measure to make sure that I don't keep stretching the piece and kind of fall out of time. The big pulse of the piece should still remain the same. You have to think of it like sort of like a rubber band. If you keep stretching, at some point it's going to snap. So you have to stretch and then release to fall back into the pulse. So here, for example, if I'm stretching the beginning, right, then I'm making up at the end of it. Oh, and you will notice that I'm not doing exactly what's written in the music. I'm digressing, but in the music there's an asterisk with an option of playing with a different bass. So I chose to play the alternative rather than what's in there. That's a choice that you can make. What's written is this, with the same bass. I chose to do which is written at the bottom of the music. So back to rubato. I'm stretching here, and then making up here, and then for example here the same. I'm stretching here, and then making up here, and keep making, kind of moving forward. And stretching here because you have a beautiful chord with an E flat. So it's not going to be identical either. You don't actually want the rubato to become copy pasting. So if I'm gonna, do in one measure, I'm not gonna want to copy paste it to the next one and then do the same formula. Slow down, speed up, slow down, Then it'll soon sound very stale because it'll be like a formula you're applying to each measure. So you have to treat the rubato for the overall passage or overall piece so it sounds more natural. So it's not like I'm going to slow down and speed up in each measure. I might use one measure, slow down even more, speed up even more, use another measure to completely just move forward and get to the next measure. That's a matter of experience and taste, and you have to experiment to see what sounds best. The key is to learn to stretch time within bounds and without disturbing the overall pulse of the music. So that's it really for this piece, because everything else is very clear and straightforward. I thought I would take the opportunity to let you know that you should experiment with rubato and use simple pieces like this to make them sound more beautiful. And as always, I will be linking the direct link to the Strings by Mel catalog in case you want to order the music. Thank you for watching.